Switch off.
Hi everybody, it's Beverly at Bama Blind. Merry Christmas and deck the halls. I'm doing a follow-up video to a video I did about probably at least 3 weeks ago where I undressed my living room, and right now I'm pointing right back at the same Christmas tree that's in front of my bay windows. And I just kind of wanted to put a punctuation at the end of the sentence where I had undressed my living room, preparing to decorate it for Christmas. I'm going to kind of pan around, and I'm not really good at this because I can't see any of this, but I know what I've done in the room. The room, what my basic idea is to reuse all the decorations that we already have. And you know, I'm of the age where I've collected decorations and thrown decorations out and given decorations away and sold the decorations at yard sales. And so I've kept ones that are really, really important to me that others gave me, and a few pieces that I picked out myself years ago, and some that, you know, I have just saved over the years. So I found out that what I end up doing every single year is rearranging them in some creative way. I never do it the same year twice, and I can't see pictures of how I did it last year, so that doesn't help, and I can't remember, so that doesn't help. So this year I did something I know I've never done. I created each room in a color theme. So I didn't necessarily do a theme like one room is snowman and one room is Santa or reindeer or woodsy or glitzy. I just focused in on color. Well, unfortunately, I can't see color. I know my room here, this huge ceilinged. I will pan up to the ceiling. The top of the Christmas tree at the 12-foot level and all the way down to the bottom. The room here is blue. So I pulled out everything in the room that was burgundy or red. Now that sounds ridiculous, but because I needed to put a white sofa in here, I put my white sofa in, and here it is right here. It's just a regular camelback sofa, and let me see if I can just kind of show it. So I put my sofa here. So I knew I had a white sofa that has to go in because we have so many people, and that's my largest sofa. So I took all the other things that were burgundy. I had chairs in here. So I basically made the room gold, white, and blue. So with that, I covered the floor, which did not have anything on the hardwood floor. So I put down it's an oriental rug, and it's blue, gold, and off-white. So that goes perfectly with what my theme is. And now as I pan over, I think I'm panning over to the bottom of the Christmas tree where all the gifts are wrapped. My husband wrapped all the presents. He wraps so well, and he's so meticulous about it, and he takes his time. And I can't wrap very good. Now I can't wrap, but I can't wrap as good as he does, and he likes to do it, so that's awesome. What I did is I covered the base of the Christmas tree, so you can't see the pedestal that the tree is sitting on, and you can't see the base. It's an artificial tree, so you can't see the base of that. I covered it with a satin finish blue tablecloth. It's huge. And if you've seen any of my other videos, you might have seen the tablecloth on my dining room table. So I just wrapped it around, so the base of my Christmas tree is a rich, a little deeper than a cobalt blue, but not even a midnight blue, maybe a twilight blue color. And it's a little richer than the walls. And so knowing that everything in here, it was blue and gold and white, I took the piano area where that the piano gets played a lot during the holidays. I'm going to try to walk over to it right now, getting closer to it. And on the piano, I just put on the very top of it a runner, a sash that goes with the tablecloth. So it's just a blue satin sash that runs the length, kind of like a runner, across the top of the piano. And then in the center, I have a piano lamp because it's kind of what, we use for reading music when we have music here. Then to either side, I have special pieces that I've put here. Let me see if I can focus on it. I'm trying to touch and probably not make you sick looking at it. And if this doesn't work out, I apologize. And I'm going to try to describe to blind people what I've got. This is an angel that I picked out about 15 years ago, and she's in a long satin gown, and she has gold wings and the white satin gown and a little halo cocked on the side of her head, and she's just really elegant looking. And on the other side, just opposite the piano light, I have a similar decoration. This is a Santa Claus. He's very ornate. He's got a rope, gold. He's got a tree branch in his hand. He's got cotton, a really bearded face with this is like an old world Santa with a really pretty flat hat, and his robe is trimmed with fur, and it is satin. And then he's got a big package of toys that are right here that he's holding in his left hand. Now to either side at the end of the piano, I have candles. Now I can see the candle. These are not real candles. They're artificial candles, but they look real, and I can see the candle. I can see it much better if I turn the floor lamp off. But my husband says if I turn the floor lamps off and the ceiling lights off, then people that can see can't see any of this stuff. So at either side of the piano, I have two white pillar candles to go with the white satin fixtures, the angel and the Santa. And then the two white pillars are sitting on some mercury glass pedestals, which are lit up, and they're gold. So everything's gold, white, and blue. That's just kind of how I tie things together. Now over here, this is on the other side of the room. You can hear me walk past the clock, which is on the mantle. This is what I call a marble top. It's a marble top dresser, really, really old. And I went ahead and put our 4 Dickens carolers. And I don't know if I'm focusing in on it or not, but there is let me see if I can reach out without knocking it over. There is you can see my hand. Oh, yes, a little off. Okay. Here is a tall lamppost. It's got a wreath on it. And then right down below it is a package of toys that someone has left at the base of the lamp. And then there are 4 carolers. The carolers were given to us by my brother and sister-in-law, and we've kept those. We've had those for about 20 years. And then right next to that, I just have a lamp and a scented candle that is lit, and it smells like balsam. So it's making this room smell just wonderful, and it makes the room smell like the Christmas tree is real, and it's not for sure. Then the mantle is very simple. I've got, I've said, and maybe you can see me, I've said so many times that the clock that sits on this mantle belonged to my grandmother, so I had to keep it in the middle. So on either side of the clock, I picked out a couple of years ago these gold Christmas trees. They're about 15 inches tall, and they're all carved. It's resin, it looks like wood, and it's painted gold, and they're carved with intricate pine cones and tips on the tree, but they're solid, they're very solid, and those flank either side of that mantle clock. And then on either side of those, I have more candles, which are just sitting on little brown pedestals, but they're white candles. And then kind of kind of laid out on top of the mantle, I have these, they're champagne colored picks that kind of sparkle. They have gold and maybe a hint of silverish in them, but mostly gold. So it makes it look champagne colored, and that makes it kind of fill in the mantle where, it needed to be filled in. That's my mantle. It's not elaborate by any means, that I enjoy putting the colors together. Over here, I put a gold chair. Like I said, we had burgundy chairs in here and a sofa, a love seat that was burgundy. And so I pulled those out. And this chair here it's a high back gold antique chair. I think I'm pointing at it. And just to the right of that is a little side table, and let's see, I don't have any decorations on it except for one candle, and it's a scented candle, and of course I've got the Holy Bible, and then right above here there is a wall hanging. It's a greenery piece. It's a cross, and again it's got a white ribbon that runs through it that has gold, and it was given to Jerry and I by my aunt, who made it for us. And let's see, I'm thinking that she probably made that 20 years ago. Yes, at least 20 years ago, because it was when we moved into this house, and it was like our first Christmas in this house. Oh, you can hear the clock ringing. So that's basically our living room. And if you look over there, there's the front door. So it's blue, white, and gold. And as I back off of it, to me, now I can see hints of lights, but from right here, I can't see the Christmas tree lights. I see the lamps. They're overpowering my vision, my ability to see smaller pin lights, which are the lights that are on the Christmas tree, and the candles, and even the real candle, which is scented. Then I have the chandelier that is basically hangs over our foyer right there. Now I will turn very slowly into the central hallway, and the central hallway is so bare. It's about, it's the same hallway that's 11, 12 feet wide and about 15, 18 feet long. And it's where we set up for Thanksgiving. And all I have done in this room, because there's only one piece of furniture over here, I have hung a wreath on the wall, which Jerry and I picked out about 25 years ago. And then right below the wreath, sitting on this, this is called a Asian blanket chest. And sitting on that, I have, let me find him, he's a Santa. And the Santa has got another, his robe is not as satiny as the others. It's more of a silk-like. And then it's got fur all around the edges, very well finished. He's got little jingle bells on his furry boots. And Gretchen, here's the bell. Oh, yeah, Gretchen. Hey, girl. Hey, how are you? How are you, sweet girl? Here, you want to talk? Hey, now, can you tell them what you did the other day? What did you do day before yesterday, Gretchen? You went and got a full grooming bath and shampoo, and she was ferminated, and she smells so good. Yes, she does. And she's a good girl. Yes, she is. And she wants to play. She's a good girl. She's ready to play. So she's gone to her back door to play. And so I'll show the dining room. There's really not a lot to show. We've got people coming for Christmas Eve. This is my dining room. We've got people coming for the day, 2 days after Christmas. So this will be set up for a while. Gretchen, come here. Come. 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 Sit. Good girl. Sit. Now you rest. Okay? Can you rest? Can you rest? She's looking right at the camera. I hope I'm getting her. I hope I am. I don't know. She's such a pretty girl. Yes, she is. Rest. You just rest and no barking. So this is the dining room. And what I did with the dining room, again, I went with the same idea of color. I've got one set of Christmas china that, again, we've had for so many years. I bought it the year that Jerry and I got married. And we got married in 1992. So I've had this Christmas china, so I always put that out. So I have to figure out, like I said, I can't remember from year to year what in the world did I do with the table last year. Or, you know, hopefully the people that come get a little bit of variation every year. So I knew I had a red Christmas tablecloth, and it's kind of a crimson red. It's a deeper red than, you know, bright Christmas red, and it's not burgundy. So I think it's a Christmas red, and the dishes they're holly, so they're white with green and gold around them. And so I've put all the dishes on the red tablecloth, but then I thought I would layer the tablecloth so it wasn't just a red tablecloth. I left a brown tablecloth on the bottom because it goes to the floor, and we used it at Thanksgiving. And so I thought the red would go on top of the brown. Gretchen? So the red would go on top of the brown, because then what I put down the middle of the table is a garland. And the garland, if I can reach out and touch it, I'll show you what's nested in the garland. But this garland has got sparkly pine cones and these little balls of silver, and the pine cones have just brown and silver and green. So there's no red in that. So I thought the brown of the, and they're definitely Christmas because they have little Christmas balls, glittery balls that are, you know, connected to the it's not a runner, it's a garland. And so I thought, well, I've got silver in that, and I've got silver flatware, and I have gold plate rims around the plates, and so I put the gold rims around the plates and the plates in gold chargers. So this room here ended up, I decided I would mix my metals. So in the center, I put 4 pillar candles once again. I put the 2 on each end are white on gold mercury glass pedestals. The 2 in the center are brown candles, and they go with the pine cones, and they're on silver mercury glass pedestals. And the pedestals are actually lit. The mercury glass is lit from within, so it makes a really pretty pattern, lighted look. And then they have a mirrored top, and then the candle sits on top of that mirrored top. So each place setting has like a salad bowl, a bread and butter plate, and a dinner plate, and a cup and saucer. And I haven't put out any silverware, but I could go with my gold flatware or my stainless flatware, either one. And I think both of them would look good because I've mixed my metals and I've put gold and silver in this room, and it's on the red table. And then, so now I'm looking at the table from the other end, and I'll see if I can kind of focus so that, you know, somebody that can see would see it. Over on the mantle, I've done almost the exact same thing. I've put an identical garland on this. It's got It's got pine cones and silver balls and silver sparkly balls and some greenery. And then I have three, they're like spheres that are mercury glass. They're lit from within and they match the mercury glass pedestals, which are on the center of the table. Now I'm turning around and you can hopefully see the little Christmas tree that's directly across the table from me, and it's in front of a window. The window goes into the hallway behind it. So you're not looking outside, you're looking into a hallway which gets you from one side of the house to the other. But in the window I have hanging a really pretty wreath. It's sparkly with like crystal sparkles and pine cones and magnolia leaves. And then the Christmas tree is a 3-foot Christmas tree. It's lit and decorated. And at the base of that, I have the napkins that match this red tablecloth. I have made a little skirt out of those and put 2 little presents at the bottom that are silver sparkly presents, which are also lit from within. So at the base of that Christmas tree, you have 2 little sparkly presents. And let's see, the breakfast room, I have the 2 buffets, that we always have. I think I've shown them in all of my table settings that I've done, but they're cleared off, ready for serving. And in the kitchen, and if you see like dog toys, you just see dog toys, because I don't know where Gretchen leaves her toys. She has not learned to put them in a toy box. I'm not sure how Santa's gonna feel about that. But here's the kitchen table, and it's very similar to the other table. It's got the same red tablecloth. I've done napkins here with napkin rings that have a green little sprig of greenery and a pine cone, and I've done each napkin in that. The napkin is a kind of a champagne color. And then in the center of the table, I have 2 independent garlands that are pine cones that have sparkles and magnolia leaves. And then I've got another mercury glass pedestal that's lit with a red candle on top of it, and then a secondary one on this end. So two candle pedestals, 2 red candles, they're lit. And then in the center, because I had to hide the little ends of each of these garlands, I had to figure out what to put on here. So on this, I put it's called a trivet, but it's a thing for hot dishes. And that's silver. I think I know somebody gave it to me, because I know who gave it to me. And so I put this lit present. It's a sparkly silver present. So this room here, because it's in the kitchen is at the other end over there. It's not been cleaned up, but it's neat. And it's got all stainless appliances. So I decided to go ahead and just make this table with stainless and silver. And over here I have a little bitty house that is kind of whimsical looking. Let's see if I can find it. It's right here, and it's lit up from within. And again, I put that up every year. The kids love it because it's got real glass windows, and if I put an incense candle in it, and smoke comes out the top, and it's lit from within, so you can see what's going on in the little house. And then on this side is it's not very spectacular, but it's probably one of the oldest things that I put out. This is my Advent calendar, and it's kind of youngish because it has a little mouse in it. And right now the mouse, I believe he's like on the 3 days he's on the 2 days till Christmas. So somebody has put him, because today is actually the 22nd. So I'm moving the mouse around. This little mouse calendar was given to my girls by my mother when my girls were little, and they're grown women now. So they would get up every morning during Advent and they would say, "Who gets to move the mouse?" And they would run into the kitchen and move the mouse. So the mouse starts out down here at 1, and he ends up at, well, he starts at 24 and he ends up at 1. So there'll be one more day left till Christmas after today. So that's the mouse calendar that we've kept all these years. Here's the view of the dining room from this side. So we're in the hallway now that I was pointing to, and then there's the Christmas tree on the other side of this paned window. Now that window is original to this 1893 house. And then I've got a wreath hanging on this side, which has got pine cones and magnolias and sparkles. So it looks like I'm looking inside somebody's house because there's a table set in there. There's a tree in the window that's lit. There are lit pieces over across the room through that window on the mantle, and it's all centered right on this window. So that's that. And that just kind of takes us to the last room, and probably the most passed through room, because this room goes to the back doorways which go outside to our driveway. And I've got 2 lighted wreaths over the nativity. And the nativity is a pretty large nativity, not meaning huge, but meaning that it's got lots of pieces. It's got Mary, Joseph, baby Jesus inside the creche, inside the manger. The manger itself is about 12 inches tall, and it's covered with hay and straw that's adhered to it. And it's got a little angel at the top that hovers over the stable. And there are 3 wise men, there are shepherds, there are sheep, there are camel, there are cows, there's a donkey. So it's a full, and each one of them is hand painted in porcelain. And I think I might have gotten that maybe about 25 years ago, because I always wanted a nativity. And I had one growing up, and it's my mother still has that. And so anyway, and in this room, I just, on either side of that nativity, I have the 2 burgundy chairs that I took out of the living room, out of the parlor, and put back here. These walls are the same color. So I tried to fill this room with colors of gold. I put a gold round rug in here on the hardwood floor. And then I put the gold and burgundy love seat right here, and a burgundy throw to kind of relax it out a little bit. So basically this room has got the golds and the burgundies and the manger. And so I hope you've enjoyed the tour. I hope it hasn't been too long or boring. It takes a long time to not to necessarily put the stuff out. I think what takes the longest is getting, in my mind, the colors together, to group things in colors, because all of my things are either hand-me-downs or collectibles, things that I have collected over the years and things that I love and have treasured. And so we just end up right back where we started. And I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I hope I will see you, or at least speak to you, with one more upload at least before Christmas. And if you're so busy that you really might not be tuning into YouTube, I hope you have a very, very Merry Christmas, very happy holiday season, and a very safe one too. And enjoy it, and just feel the joy of the season all year long. And I hope you've liked the video. Please hit the like button if you've liked it, and subscribe. And please leave comments if you feel like sharing anything at all. I'm just a regular blind individual who loves life, and I love the holidays, and I love connecting with all my YouTubers. So thanks, everyone. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.